There is not a bigger band in the world right now than Knocked Loose. They are as hot as it gets, and it is my pleasure in the back of the Salt Shed to introduce to you my chat with Bryan from Knocked Loose about how they got here, where they're going, and so much more. Ladies and gentlemen, A Case For Knocked Loose. How we doing, everybody? Case here from Q101. This is A Case For, a show in which I have coerced management and letting me talk to my favorite bands. If you're new here, and I imagine a lot of you are, archives available on Q101's YouTube channel include Drain, Code Orange, Militarie Gun. Basically, if you like the man to my right, you've probably liked a lot of the bands that I've talked to. And I'm here today in the bowels of the Salt Shed with Bryan from Knocked Loose. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you so much.
What does it feel like being in the hottest band in the world right now? Does it feel good?
That's a crazy thing to say. I've never thought about it like that, but things do feel great currently, yeah.
Good. I would say you've earned every bit of success that you've had. I'm delighted for you. And this feels like we are in a moment. And I know we're coming off of some nauseating discourse and hardcore over the last few years where every question I'm sure that was asked to you was, what does the rise of Turnstile mean for your band? But I think you guys have taken the crown. I think if there's a heavyweight champion of hard music right now, you guys hold that belt. This feels like it's your moment.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. I like all respects to Turnstile. Like,
of course.
Huge fan. I think, I have gotten to answer that question a lot, and I'm not sick of it because I am such a fan of the other people that we kind of get to share this moment with. And I think I'm a true believer in, like, a rising tide raises all ships. So you see bands like Code Orange and Turnstile opening doors and us opening doors. And I think there's like a piece for everybody, and I'm glad that, like, we're getting our piece.
Can I ask, in terms of maybe tides that you want to see rise, who are the bands right now that maybe they're just getting into you guys and you've opened a whole new world for them? What are the bands that somebody who's new to Knocked Loose also needs to listen to?
I think there's a lot of bands right now. Something that's really interesting, and like you kind of see like in the trends in heavy music as they come and go. Something that we have that's super interesting right now. And these might not be new bands to anybody, but I love the moment that like Drain and Tsunami are having. I think that it's really interesting when you can find that the headliner of all the cool hardcore fests are current bands, because for so long it relied on like reunions and nostalgia, but now it's just like the current stuff that's out here grinding is paying off, and they're the biggest sets of all these festivals. So I'm excited to see where that ceiling is,
Absolutely. Somebody like yourself that, when I think of Knocked Loose, I think of innovation. I think of you guys doing stuff differently than everybody else. Do you ever have to battle when you're in the studio making new music, balancing paying homage to those before you while also trying to do something new? Like, do you feel like, oh man, like, I don't want to rip off this band? Do you find yourself in moments like that, or are you guys just blocking everything out when a new album comes out and creating something entirely new?
I think that we've always worn our influences on our sleeve. Like, we're definitely not like reinventing the wheel by any means. I think that with every record, we just kind of expand the umbrella of influence. I think that a lot of that comes from touring. We get opportunities to tour with new kinds of artists and dip our toes in different worlds, and I think that just like broadens where we gather our inspiration. So I think that like over the years you've heard a little bit, like you might hear a little bit of Gojira because we were fortunate enough to tour with them, so it's always just about like challenging ourselves and bringing new influences in, things that we just would like to hear Knocked Loose expand on. But yeah, definitely wear our influences on our sleeves.
Talk to me about the new record. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, my goodness.
Thank you.
Best thing I've heard in 2024. I say that in all sincerity.
Oh, yeah.
How does it feel? We're about, a month since the release date? Something like that?
We're just over a week.
Oh, my God. Time. Time is disgusting.
It feels crazy for me, too, because I feel like this tour's been, like, 2 months long, but like I'm having so much fun, it's flying by.
Yeah. All right. Well, is it a sigh of relief that it's out, that you can finally unleash this thing onto the world?
It is, yeah, big time. I think that we worked on this for so long, and definitely like LP3, like the dark cloud of what that means was definitely like over our heads a lot, and we second guessed, we overthought, we really put a magnifying glass to it this time. And I think that now that it's out, it's like it's the first time that I've ever felt like this like insane weight lifted of just being like, it's yours, take it, like get it away from me. I've done everything that I can do to it, and I'm going to do it a disservice if I nitpick anymore. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
Like, I'm glad that it's out, and it's been so exciting to like see people's reactions and see what people are picking up. And like, we always write a record, and this far into us being a band, it's kind of like you know what to expect from certain things. But I feel like more and more our fan base is surprising us with like what they're latching onto, which is like always a very rewarding feeling, because it kind of just lets us know that like we can push it a little bit and they're still with us, you know.
I was going to ask that. What's been the most surprising bit of feedback you've gotten, whether it be from a specific person or your fan base at large, with the new record?
So the last song on the record is called Sit and Mourn, and we wrote that song and we were like, man, this is such an epic, beautiful, like melodic song for Knocked Loose. Pretty new in the grand scheme of things, but I would say that every record has a sad song. You look at A Different Shade of Blue and you have Guided by the Moon. You look at A Tear in the Fabric of Life and you have Permanent. This was like that, the new record's version of that. But we were afraid that it would just get lost in the static of the record. It's not like chaotic and extreme. It's just like, it's heavy, but it's like beautiful. And people are really, really, really liking it. And that's like, we're getting so much feedback for that song in particular, which is like so exciting, because it just kind of like shows us that we can do whatever we want, and like people are gonna rock with it, you know.
For sure. I know you guys talked about in the build up to the record about wanting this to be the most aggressive thing you guys have done, and not really falling into, say, a melodic hardcore record that might be a little bit more accessible, that you guys wanted to push the boundaries of it. There are 10 songs on the record. How many didn't make the album that are maybe still floating around that you want to revisit? Is there anything that was cut that didn't make it that you're kind of excited to explore and go back to?
There was a lot that was cut. We love to write, so we write a lot. And I would say that we probably wrote 30 songs. But we knew we wanted 10. It was important for us, like, we're going to write 10. We're going to write a short record. It's not going to overstay its welcome. It's going to come and attack you and make you want to revisit it because it wasn't long enough. And doing 10 specifically allowed us to, like, trim the fat. There's no room for filler songs. Every song serves a purpose. But as far as revisiting the songs that got scrapped, I feel like whenever we approach a new writing session, we're in such a different headspace that it's hard for us to kind of go back. We might revisit riffs or ideas and rework them, but no like full songs. I would just say that like Isaac and Nico are just like a never-ending riff machine, you know. So like we never are really hurting to the point where we need to revisit past material.
Are you in a headspace where you could even think about the next LP, or are you still basking in the glow of this moment?
I am 100% basking in the glow. However, all of Knocked Loose's best ideas come from joking around. A Tear in the Fabric of Life was a joke, you know, and it snowballed into this like beautiful EP that we got to do. Parts of this record, Slaughterhouse 2 on the new album, like that was a joke. So like we're always joking about what we could do and what could be next. So like there's a lot of downtime in the green room, you know, so we're talking and we're excited, and I think that like seeing all this feedback gets us inspired and makes us want to work harder. But we definitely are enjoying the moment. It's been amazing.
I think the greatest compliment I can give the album is that it's sequenced beautifully. And there are bands that I love. Like, I love REM. I think they're the greatest American band of all time, although you're certainly getting up there. But, like, REM, bad at sequencing albums. I re-sequenced almost everything they've ever done to make it sound more appealing. Were there any fights or battles along the way to make sure that song 3 was song 3 and song 4 was song 4, or did it all fall together pretty beautifully?
I think it fell together. It was pretty clear where every song should exist. You know, I think that there's a lot more like conversations about sequencing than there ever have been. There's like a lot of intention there. I would say that Knocked Loose has always just written songs and then figured out where they exist. But over the pandemic, I hate to keep referencing A Tear in the Fabric of Life because it's the last record, but it very much changed our approach to a lot of things. One of those being just like doing things intentionally. So when it comes to writing, we used to just write a song and be like, oh, that could be a good opener. But now it's like, hey, let's write an opener. So Thirst, opening the album, was intentional. And it was like, this song it starts with the most abrasive Knocked Loose part that's ever existed. So let's just hit them right off the bat with it. And then Sit and Mourn, it was like, this is the closer. You know, like the breakdown at the end of Sit and Mourn was something that we've had for a very, very long time, and we just didn't have a song good enough to put it in. We were like, this is the album where that breakdown ends the record. Let's write a song that matches it, you know? So like just being way more intentional, I think, has been very beneficial for us, and it definitely helps things flow seamlessly.
Real quick, just because I'm curious, because there's been discourse on it, and I feel like I should ask, how did the Target exclusive vinyl come about?
So that was just Pure Noise Records. Like Pure Noise, they're always like fighting to open up doors for us and put our music in front of new people. And we've worked with Target before. A Different Shade of Blue had CDs at Target. But vinyl is like such a different beast, you know. It's so much more expensive to make and expensive to sell. And that was a big day of them calling us and being like, yo, Target has agreed to sell vinyl for You Won't Go Before You're Supposed to in stores, which is huge because there's a lot of like heavy artists that have gotten vinyl through Target online. Mm-hmm. But like, and I don't mean this in a braggy way at all. I'm just very honored. I think that we're like one of very few that have ever had our album actually sold in stores on vinyl. So that was like, that's such a like, it happened with A Different Shade of Blue. It happened the day that the record came out. I woke up and I Ubered straight to a Target, and just to see it and to be able to hold it, and like my cart was a razor, thing of deodorant, batteries, and my new album, and it was like, it's such a crazy feeling, man.
Oh my
it's
God.
So awesome. And like I definitely shout out Target for like giving us that opportunity.
Real quick, before I let you go, because you have a big show to go play here in just a little bit, but this tour, I mean, my God, we'll be talking to Speed here. That'll be up on Q101's YouTube channel a week from when this interview comes out. Is it everything you ever dreamed of? I don't know who your favorite band was when you were a kid, but when you sat in your room and imagined being in a band, do you get that fulfillment from everything you're getting on stage now?
I do, and something that's really interesting about this is, so we create all of our lineups. Anytime you see a show that has our name at the top, we have handpicked every band that has played. It's something that we're very passionate about. I think it's such a huge reward. You do all this supporting, and you support, and then you get to headline, you get to create your own show. But something that happens a lot, which is normal, but like you think of a lineup and you send out, hey, this is what I would like it to be, and bands are busy, bands can't make it, whatever, you got to go through multiple revisions, you got to find new bands to fill certain gaps. This tour was first round. We said we want this tour to be Show Me the Body, Loathe, and Speed, and every band said yes first round. So it's like this is the dream, you know, like this is exactly what we wanted it to be. Every single band serves a purpose. A little like Easter egg, any Knocked Loose headline show or any Knocked Loose headline tour, we like to follow a checklist of a band that we love and believe in, a band that makes sense, and a curveball. And that's exactly what this tour is. We love and we believe in Speed. We've known them for a very long time.
They're the best.
We Loathe makes sense. We're very like similar, I believe. Show Me the Body is a curveball, but we love Show Me the Body. It's just it's different on the bill, you know.
Very much so. Yeah,
But it serves a purpose, and every single night people love it. There's not been a night when when it's weird, you know. Like I believe that mixed bills are the best shows. So yeah, it's great. I could go on forever.
I love it. Final question before I let you go. When you're an old man sitting in your rocking chair, bouncing your grandkid on your lap, what is the core memory you're going to have from this tour that you want to pass down?
Oh wow, that's a big one.
It's a big tour.
So far, I gotta say, one, the moment of Ubering to a Target and buying my own record. Two, I gotta say Los Angeles. That's the biggest headline show that we've ever played thus far. That was such a celebration. It was overwhelming, and it was one of those things where I was so lost in it that night I was laying in my bunk and I was scrolling through the internet and I was looking at videos and I was just like, that is so many people. And there's been moments like that throughout the whole tour. Denver was another one. Dallas was another one where I'm just like, I think a lot about the first time I ever played these cities. We were on stage at Denver and I was like, the first time that we ever played Denver was inside of a house. And now we're on stage, there's 4,000 people here. And it's just like, I never thought that would happen, you know.
Where did you guys play first in Chicago? Was it Beat Kitchen?
It wasn't. It was a place called, oh God. It was a bar and we played super late. I don't think they did a lot of shows. All I know is the first time we ever got a van, the first thing that we did was come to Chicago.
Oh, lovely.
Chicago has always been, it's one of my favorite cities in the world. It's one of my favorite places to play. It's always been very, very close to us. And it's always been a place that, like, it's the closest major city to home. So, like, it feels like a second home to us. And it's always been a place where the shows have been so good. There's been so many, like, special occasions that we've had here. The Metro shows. But yeah, like I know Bada Brew we played a lot early on in Joliet.
Yeah.
That was an early one. We did do Beat Kitchen and we did Bottom Lounge and Sub T, and I wish I could remember the name of the first place we
I'm
played.
trying to think because it wasn't Shuba's, was it?
No, it was.
Okay.
But it was 20. It may have been 2013.
Okay.
And it was with Drowning and No Zodiac, and yeah, man, I wish I could remember that.
That's okay. That's okay. There's going to be a lot more people here tonight
than
there were at that show.
Yeah.
I am absolutely delighted for you guys. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Anything else before we go? Anything else you want to throw out there?
Well, I'm glad that I got to go on a little rant about Chicago. I can't say it enough, like how special this place is to us, all the friends that we have here, all the bands that are from here that we love. It's a really special place, and I'm so happy to be here and be the first hardcore tour to ever play the Salt Shed.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for your time. This has been A Case For on Q101. I am Case Lowe. You can follow me on Instagram if you like this interview, and I hope you did, at _Case Lowe, CaseLowe. New episodes of A Case For with bands like Knocked Loose or Drain or Militarie Gun every Monday on this YouTube channel. Once again, man, congratulations. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.